We are talking about growing summer crops in the heat and the sun and how to get the best out of your garden bed. So this is the last of 4 videos. This one is keeping yourself safe and healthy. Now think about it, you're taking care of your plants, but you also got to take care of yourself in the garden. So the first thing in the summer is you got to protect yourself from the sun. So make sure you're using a wide brim hat. It has this cloth here which really gives good shade, and it has some extra openings here for ventilation. And I get one of these every year or two. They wear out, I buy another one. So I'm going to use that on my head, okay? Because you're building up that damage to your skin over a lifetime. So be careful. Sunglasses, okay? Your eyes the same way. That ultraviolet light is building up over a lifetime, and get sunglasses. And if you look on the little corner here, it says UV protection, okay? Always get those sunglasses. Some glasses also have UV protection, but go with the sunglasses even over your glasses, because if really you want that extra protection over a lifetime. I'm going to talk about the heat. Now obviously it's hot in the summer, really hot here in Lemon Grove. Not as bad as the desert, but you can still get sick and dehydrated. So what's the first thing you're going to do? Drink plenty of water, hydrate, okay? Number 2, keep cooler. Well, if you put on a wide brim hat, now some people have little caps on, those are fine, that protects you some, but a wide brim hat with some space on top of your head is going to give you ventilation, and right under here you can feel the difference between here and in the shade. It's about 10-20 degrees cooler. So just by putting on a wide brim hat, you're going to cool your body down, especially your brain. And guess what? The first thing that starts malfunctioning in the heat is your brain. Okay, so keep your brain cool and you'll be able to work longer. And speaking of working, when you want to come to the garden to do a lot of work, come in the morning, come in the evening. Okay, so come when it's cool. And then the third thing for heat is air conditioning. Now obviously we're outside, so we can't use inside air conditioning, but I've got a couple hints for you. One is, some people use this method. They're going to take a bandana and they're going to get it wet and they're just going to put it around their neck. A nice air conditioner. It works pretty good for a while, okay? But if it's really hot, I'm going to get a couple of things of ice and I'm just going to put them with a little water in my bandana, and I'm going to tie it up and I'm going to put it under my head, under my hat. That's going to cool me down. Now I don't want to put ice on the top of my head because it's going to kind of burn, cold burn. But if it's wrapped in a bandana and you've got a little water on it, it's going to be really nice under there, okay? And there, okay? Now my brain is cooled down like 10 degrees and I can work, instead of 10 minutes before I overheat, I can work an hour before it. Now it's going to melt and your head's going to get wet and your shirt's going to get wet and you're going to look silly, but you're going to feel better. Now right now it's feeling a little cold because I'm right on the moist thing, so I'm going to just turn it over and put the knot on top of my head, and that's going to keep me from getting an ice burn. And I'm nice and cool, okay? Finally, other dangers, okay? Your hands. Well, normally working in the garden is fine. You can move stuff, you can dig. You might get some blisters, so you can use gloves. But I want to caution you, especially if you're getting your hands deep in the soil or you're trimming roses or anything with thorns. Get some good gloves, okay? You're working with thorns, or even if you're working with soil, you don't know if some of that mulch had thorns in it. It could still have thorns in there, okay? So rather than cloth gloves, I got some nice leather gloves. If I'm going to trim roses, I'm going to use these leather gloves, okay? And I'm going to have long sleeves, because when you're trimming roses or other thorn bushes, like blackberries, or even trees like these lemon trees, they have some thorns, or you're going to want gloves. So it's not a question when you're trimming roses of if you're going to get stuck by a thorn, but when and how, okay? So don't forget the gloves. Your shoes, okay? You want closed-toed shoes. Now these are sneakers, that's okay. They're protecting your feet and toes, okay? But if you've got sandals, if you've got flip-flops, you're setting yourself up for injury. Particularly in this garden, because we've got raised beds that are old wood and they get splinters. And under the beds is hardware cloth, which is metal, and it sometimes sticks out and it'll cut your toes. We don't want injuries here, so make sure you're wearing closed-toed shoes. And then finally, for your ears. Now here we don't use much mechanical equipment. But if you're working at home, like cutting your lawn, producing a lot of noise. Now, you may be able to do that for a couple of years without ear protection, but eventually that damage is going to build up in your ears. So you want ear protection? We have our model here for ear protection. There it is. Use them whenever you use loud machinery and protect your ears, just like you're protecting your plants. So again, protect from sunlight, the hat, protect your eyes with the UV protection glasses, protect from the heat by drinking water, air conditioning, use your gloves, use your closed-toe shoes, and when you need it, use your ear protection. And have fun and safe gardening. Take care.